Alright, so we're back in the shop with this thing. So, if you've followed along on this one, it's quite the transformation. So, when I got this truck, it was a GMC Sierra that had a black Silverado front clip, the black Silverado doors, and then the black Silverado bed, and then the black LTZ tailgate. So now we have a silver Sierra, which is what the truck was. So this truck, I think it had some front end damage or something, and he had that black truck, so he used it to put this together like it was, and it looked horrible. So I didn't like it. I took all the silver parts that I had from that he had put on the black truck and made the silver truck silver and the black truck black. And but I didn't have the front clip. So found a guy on Marketplace. He was probably like 70 miles away. Drove over there, met him, got the front clip, and he took it off, which I wasn't real excited about, because I prefer to take off my own parts if possible, because that way I can see how it went together, and I know I'm going to take better care taking it apart. He broke several of the tabs on the headlights, like basically, well, all the tabs on the headlights. The only thing that he didn't break were the two bolts at the top of the headlight. And people, I don't know if he didn't know how it come off, or just, when you're taking something off, if it requires a lot of force, there's probably still another bolt attached somewhere. And I don't know, what or how or why, but anyway, he broke like all the tabs on the headlights. There's a piece that goes under here that this snaps into, and it bolts to the bottom of this fender. I didn't get that. This piece attaches to the grill. It clips in, so the bumper slides and clips under the grill, and then the grill comes off as one assembly. And I didn't really know how it reattached to the bumper. It's just one of those things, again, when you don't take it apart, it's kind of hard to tell how it goes back together, if you didn't take it apart. So anyway, we got it together yesterday. I think it turned out great. So the front clip that we bought from him was like, I think it was blue. And my buddy was kind enough to come over and help me. Well, he didn't help me, he did it. He sanded everything down, sanded the fenders and the hood and the fender, and then this door over here, we had to spray this door, because this is the one that I got from the junkyard, and it turns out it was gray and not silver, and it's hard to tell. I mean, I guess it does look kind of off still in this light. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but it looks a little different. But when it's in the sunlight, it looks fine. So, I mean, for buying paint from, I think it was a bumper to bumper, and it matching as well as it did. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with how well it matched, and how well it looks. I mean, at least it's all silver now, and it's GMC, which is what it should be. Historically, I don't like the GMC front ends, but on this era, I like the GMC front end better than the Silverado front end. So one of the things that was different with bolting on the front clip was this wiper thing. So you can see how this sits up higher, so when you open the hood touches that. So apparently this piece is different on the GMC, and then of course the plastic piece that covers the core support to the grill is different. So I had gotten I've gotten the one off the Silverado and tried to put it on there, and it's not even close. So, stuff like that, I mean, you don't think about. Luckily, when we were there, I thought about the pieces that hold the grill and the hood latch on. So I was able to get those. He took them off real quick for me, but, everything was already blown apart off the truck. And, you're just grabbing parts and putting them in, and you don't really know what all you need. So, like I say, I'll have to find the new wiper cover piece, the grill radiator support cover piece, and then try to get a piece that snaps in here. And I think that should be it. Hopefully that'll finish off the GMC parts that I need. It went together pretty good. I mean, it's just, time consuming trying to get everything bolted on and, get it fitting properly. And I mean, I'm not the best at it. It takes that P word, which I don't have, patience. And but like I say, I mean, for a truck, I mean, it's a truck. It's not a show truck. I just wanted it. I wanted it GMC, and I wanted it silver, and that's what we got. So, and I think, again, I think it turned out very well for being painted in this shop with no sort of. He put my fan back here and was blowing, as he was painting. So I mean, I don't know what his experience is painting. I think he might have some classes on it, how many years ago or something. But again, for painting this stuff in the shop, just, right where the truck's sitting, we had all these stands set up he had all the parts on there. He taped everything up and just sprayed it. And like I say, now we have a silver GMC, and I think it looks great. And then on top of that, we've got the nice interior. So that really turned out well. Having the LTZ interior in it. And then the back seat looks really good. Still some sanding supplies and stuff in here. So, but yeah, painted it off the truck so we didn't have to worry about trying to tape everything off and worry about a bunch of overspray, because that's my big problem with painting stuff is it doesn't matter how much you tape, you're gonna get overspray somehow, somewhere. It's just gonna happen. So, there's a couple places, because I didn't take the mirror off on that door, or the door handle and stuff like that. So there was a little bit of overspray there, but again, it's no big deal. It's a truck, it's not a show car. So, as long as it's one color, and, from that to the casual observer glancing at it, it looks great. And so again, this one's got the 6-liter in it, the iron block rec port head motor in it, and it's VVT, 6L80, and then it had a 308, and I'm in process of putting a 342 in it. And I think I mentioned on the last video that the pinion bearing on this rear end is completely different than the previous 10 bolts. So I had ordered the pinion bearing like last week, and it still hasn't come in. So the drive shaft's just kind of hanging down right there, and I'm having to pull it in and out of the shop, which I absolutely hate having to do that, because it's just I've had a bad experience with it, and I just don't like I don't like vehicles that come to me that I have to push and move around under my own power. So, and then I did it to myself because I had no idea that pinion bearing was a different bearing, and I had no idea that it would take this long to get it here. The thing shows that it's been in Florida, or it was in Florida last Monday, and then Tuesday it showed a bunch of updates, and that's the last time it's shown any progress. And I could have driven to Florida and gotten it by now. I'd go to Summit and get it if they had one, but Summit doesn't show one. The only way I was able to find the correct bearing for this thing was to get the part number off of the bearing and race that came out of it, because even if you go on Rock Auto and pull it up, it still shows the previous 10-bolt bearing, which is where I initially got my information, and none of it was correct. So I don't know how you're supposed to look that up for it, and I don't know why they changed it, why they changed the size of the pinion bearing. But anyway, hopefully that'll be here. It looks like it's probably going to be tomorrow, I would assume, and then hopefully I can get the rear end back together in this thing, and then start driving it and see how I like it, and make my determination on what I'm going to do with the truck from there. But anyway, if you go back and watch the first video where I had this thing down to a bare cab and switching all the doors and the bed, and I mean it's been a lot of work to get to this point, and now it looks really good. So I'm happy with the results so far, and like I say, hopefully I like it, with the 6-liter and the 6L80, and especially with the 342, because the only time I got to drive it was towing the other truck back, and then it had the 5.3 tune, which had the wrong injector data, just all that was wrong, and then it had the 308 gear in it. So again, the other Denali's I've had and done had a 6.2, 6L80, and a 342. So this one, it's strange to me that they would have put a 308 in it. But like I say, now we got the 342 in it, when I get the pinion bearing, and then like I say, hopefully drive it around and see how it does. And then I haven't decided on what cam I want to put in it. Again, because it is a VVT cam, and I'd like to put one of the torque cams in it. And somebody was mentioning in the last video about some different torque cams or some different duration numbers, and it looks like Summit may have a couple more camshafts that have a little better, little higher duration, but not too high. Because typically that one cam that we put in the last 6.2 turbo Denali was the 200, 205, 550, 550 cam, and they have one that's like 209. So I can't remember the second number, but it was like just a little bit more duration, to move the power band. I think the power band on the 209 to whatever it was like 1600 to 6200 or something, whereas the 200 205 cam was 600 RPM to 5800 RPM. So it's stump pulling torque, and that's great, and I like it. But it's nice to move it up just a little bit so you can pull on up past 6,000, I would think. So anyway, that's the update on this one for now.